What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with two reviews in one video. Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion, Season 3, Episode 8 and 9, and then Episode 10 will be by itself. And it'll be the same for Sisters. We'll do 2 episodes, and then we'll follow up with the new episode. So Season 3, Episode 8, Jamaican Me Crazy, you guys. So I'm so sorry that I've gotten behind on doing these videos, but we are getting caught up with everything. So this episode and the next one, I'm doing these because these literally flow together, right? So in this episode, this is where the episode that I finished reviewing last time, 2 or 3 weeks ago, it ended with, Chaotic doing the game night, right? And he brought a special guest, and I knew from the way that that person was walking in that it was none other than Sukihana from Love and Hip Hop Miami, right? So we find out that, she and Kill Bill, they have broken up with each other. I will say, though, that game seemed like it was a little bit rigged for the Miami cast, right? Because it was Miami versus, I think, Miami versus New York, then Atlanta versus Hollywood, right? But at the end of it, Miami ended up winning the game. And like I said, it was a little questionable, because some of the questions lean, the Miami cast, they would know the answers, right? Because it was stuff that was dealing with them. One thing that came up was they were talking about all the women that Safari had hooked up with. And somebody said, Amara. And she was like, huh? She's like, she's never hooked up with him before, right? So they talked about him. Y'all know how I feel about Safari. I couldn't care less, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So then we see Tiara's, right? So Tiara was talking to Little Lyrica, and she was talking to Little Lyrica about this beef with Shekinah, right? So Little Lyrica says that basically all that was going on was she was trying to speak to Shekinah, and Shekinah, basically ghosted her, which she did, right? The situation with Shekinah and Little Lyrica, I still think is stupid. But then when Shekinah in the last episode said that her mama was a one-hit wonder, I was like, now girl, why did you have to go there and say that her mother is a one-hit wonder? Like, I didn't understand why she needed to say that. It didn't make sense to me, but she said it, right? And it pissed Little Lyrica off, and rightfully so. So now, you guys know that Shekinah kept saying that Little Lyrica said that she would be like a hindrance or a blemish on her career, right? And Little Lyrica says she don't even know who said this to Shekinah, because she doesn't even know Shekinah like that to say something like that, right? And honestly, I was over the situation, right? So Little Lyrica says that, she's talking about the fact that on Instagram, for Shekinah to say that she unfollowed her, but she didn't unfollow you, Shekinah. You said it said follow back. That means for you to follow her back. But Little Lyrica says that she had been shadow banned, so much is just going on with her Instagram, right? And she says the first message that was sent to Shekinah, it was her team, but then she came back and I think she may have thanked her for the post or whatever. All in all, it's just really stupid if we being like 100% real and honest with each other. It's just stupid and childish if we're being honest, right? But let's pause here and move forward. So we see Shekinah. So Shekinah went up to Spice, and her and Spice were talking, and then her and Spice got into it, and I'm like, what are y'all getting into it about? Like, cause they were screaming at each other. I'm like, so what are y'all screaming for? I got Spice when she was trying to tell Shekinah, like, I'm your friend, but at the same time, I'm gonna call you out when you're wrong. I mean, I guess that's what it was. I don't know, but hey, they were screaming at each other. So, but basically, Spice was trying to tell Shekinah that this stuff is stupid. Like, what are y'all arguing about? And she's like, you never told her what the issue was. Girl, if she told you what the issue was, you'd be like, that's the issue? It's really ridiculous, right? So then we see Nikki and Gunplay. So they were working out, and they were talking about relationship trauma, right? And, he was like, I know you dated Safari. She's like, yeah, it was for a brief second. Yeah, it was for a storyline. So then he's talking about the situation between him and Miami Tip, right? Coming at him. And he says that he never dated her, but he just had sex with her a few times. I was like, And then y'all talking, never mind. It'll come up and never mind. A lot of this stuff with Love and Hip Hop, the cast, some of the stuff be so trivial, and some of the, because you know, a lot of times they be saying we dating, and out back in the day, I'm like, that's just for a storyline, right? But neither here nor there, right? Neither here nor there. But you guys know the situation with Gun. Well, it'll come up in the next episode. So back to Suki. So like I said, Suki, she's single. Her and Bill broke up. She on the prowl. So what they decided to do for this day is they split the group. They split up, right? So the men will be together, and then the ladies went to the spa. Now I could have swore at the spa, it was when Shekinah called Lyrica's mama a one-hit wonder. Maybe I'm wrong. But she definitely called that woman a one-hit wonder. Oh, it was at the spa. I got ahead of myself. With that one. But let's pause here and move forward, you guys. So we see Shekinah. So Shekinah, she apologized to Chrissy for what she said. Honestly, when it comes to Shekinah Joe, I didn't buy that apology, right? But Chrissy accepted it. So we see the men. So the men were having a mental health day, and I actually liked seeing the men be vulnerable and talk about things that are affecting them. It was really nice, and it was really refreshing to see, especially with Love and Hip Hop. Because, you know, Love and Hip Hop, they are just toxic and volatile. So it was really nice to see that, right? It was really nice to see the men be open and vulnerable for once, right? So we find out that Jen and Fresher are going to be doing a prom night because when their prom rolled around, they didn't get to go to their prom. I got to quit. How old are Fresher and Jen? I feel like Fresher and Jen are around my age, maybe a little bit younger. I don't know. Honestly, God, I don't really care, right? So the ladies were at the spa, right? And Shekinah had asked Spice to go to the prom with her, right? Because a lot of the ladies like, we ain't got no men, so who we gonna ask? So Shekinah, no. But then she asked Lyrica, will you take me to the prom? And Lyrica says yes. And that is when the BS ensued between Shekinah and Lyrica. When Lyrica and Shekinah went back and forth with each other, and it's just, like I said, it's stupid and it's petty to me. And it makes no sense, to be quite honest with you guys. It makes absolutely no sense why they're going back and forth with each other. So that's when Shekinah called Lyrica's mama a one-hit wonder. And I was like, why would you call her a one? What did Big Lyrica do to you for you to call this woman a one-hit wonder? Babe, I would have popped Shekinah's little ass, but neither here nor there. So we're going to pause here and move over to the next episode. All right, you guys. So the next episode is titled Party Like It's 1999. And this is episode 9 of Love and Hip Hop's Family Reunion. So we see everybody as they're getting ready for prom night. So it's 90s style prom. And I'm still sitting here thinking to myself, how old are Jen and Fresher? I mean, when it comes to doing these themes, you do them because you probably like the era, right? Like the style of dress and whatnot, right? So Safari, his corny behind is on the way there, right? And I was like, oh God. Of all the people in the world to see on Love and Hip Hop, is not Safari that I wanted to see, right? So we found it was a lot of them who said that they didn't go to their proms. Mariah Lynn said she was, in jail because she was on the streets doing drugs, selling drugs, right? Gunplay had dropped out of school. Who else did not go to the prom? KK went to her prom. Nancy went to her prom with Jim's daddy. But it was a lot of them who didn't go to their proms. So we get to the prom, right? And Shekinah, her energy was off as soon as they got there because she kept giving little Lyrica the snake eyes. And I'm like, girl, stop. Literally stop. Because little Lyrica was talking, I think at one point she was talking to Amada. And you could just see it written all over Shekinah Joe's face. I'm like, girl, sit your Oompa Loompa ass down somewhere. She got on my nerves. So we got a late arrival to the party. Miami Tip is here now, right? So Jen and Fresher, she's telling Fresher she wants him to set a date for the wedding. I was like, oh my God. I'm tired, you guys. I'm tired. So when it comes to this show right here, I was tired of Little Lyrica and Shekinah, and I'm for damn sure tired a fresher in gin, right? So when Tip came in, Gunplay, he was going left about Miami Tip because he says that he was doing he had a booking at a club, the club that Miami Tip works at, and Miami Tip was like she wanted his girl banned from the club, so he was being very disrespectful to Miami Tip, right? So everybody had to come and tell him like, yo, calm down. And I'm like, first of all, that's a woman. I don't care how you feel about what she did to your girl. That is a woman. You might feel however you want to feel about her, but at least have a little bit of respect for the woman. Like, have some kind of respect, right? So they were eventually able to get that situation calmed down, right? Little Lyrica, I don't know who told her so she got up and she wanted to go address Shekinah, and she slapped at Shekinah, and then she kept slapping at Shekinah. I was like, girl, what are you doing? So production shut that prom night down because of yet again another physical altercation. Well, technically, it really wasn't a physical altercation because I never saw Little Lyrica connect, but that's neither here nor there, right? So the next morning, we see everybody as they're discussing what happened the night before, right? So we find out that Little Lyrica, she got sent home, much like what happened with Tokyo Vanity. Tokyo got sent home for, getting physical with Carly Red. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys my thought process on this, right? My thought process is the fact that Shekinah was absolutely wrong. You set the energy when you came to Jamaica. You set the energy, you set the tone. Little Lyrica matched your energy and matched your tone. Should she have put her hand, well, she didn't put her hands on her technically, but should it have gotten to that point? No. But I think what the issue was when you addressed her mother, who one is not here, has not said anything about you, that's where the melee started, right? So then I think this was in the same episode, or it might have been was it? At one point in the episode, I think this might have been the same episode. I could be wrong because that's where my notes stopped at. That's where my notes stopped. That's where my notes stopped at. But no, that's not. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the later part of this episode, the group split up, right? Because Nancy was doing a Sunday dinner, so she invited a select few people to the Sunday dinner, and then the rest of them were at the house at the pool. That's really all that happened in this episode. It wasn't a whole lot. The bulk of the episode was the situation between Lyrica and Shekinah. And like I said, I think Shekinah was wrong. I don't think if you have an issue with Lyrica, when she come up to you and say hi to you, or extend her hand, at least be like, you can shake her hand and be like, I know you. And then if you felt so strongly about it, why not say, I know who you are, but I've heard some things that have come back to me that you said that I'm not too pleased with. So can me and you have a side conversation to discuss the stuff that was said, because it really bothered me what I heard, right? So that could have happened instead of her doing what she's been doing. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below. And you guys, we'll wrap up this episode and we'll move over to this week's episode. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on. Share the video, and until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, you guys.